That breaking news comes out of Orion Township tonight, where there is a massive fire on Brown Road or near Brown Road. We're told this may be a gas line explosion.
Witnesses say the flames can be seen from miles away at this point. Simon Shaquette just arrived on the scene. So, Simon, what have you been able to learn so far?
Steve and Carolyn, we could see those flames from 15 miles away as we were driving here, and we just found out they're going to be starting to do more evacuations in this area. Let me stop out of the way, and you can see better what we can see out here. This is Brown and Jocelyn. Emergency crews on the scene tell us before 10 a.m. is when this all got going, and they believe that the gas line is involved in all of this. You see just that intense smoke, the flames stretching for miles. You can see it off in the distance, and then what is really kind of eerie and frightening is you hear the roar of all of this from where we're at. You see a Meijer store out there. We know other retailers, coffee shops, sandwich shops, and they're trying to get some of the traffic out of this area. The lanes that we're in right now, they've told us this is a safe distance to stay back. They don't want us going any closer, and you can just see it burning and burning and burning out of control. Very frightening. And right now, they've got a perimeter set up around this thing. Firefighters from numerous communities out here dealing with this situation, but we've been told we have to remain at a safe distance and just kind of monitoring this as we go. So far, no injuries reported. Again, more evacuations happening out in this area, trying to keep everyone safe. As you can see, this continues to burn out of control, and they're coming up with, we're assuming they're coming up with and dealing with a strategy to try to get this contained in some fashion. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Simon, I mean, obviously the big question of the night is what is on fire? What is burning there? I know that that point of Jocelyn and Brown Roads has been undergoing a widening. There is a new Menards being built or has already been built in that area. Do we have any idea of what's on fire?
We're trying to find that out right now, Stephen, and we've been asking to kind of hear from somebody with the fire, one of the fire departments out here to try to give us that information. We also see the sheriff's office out here, state police out here. At this point, they've just told us to kind of get back and get to a safe distance. We're hoping to learn more shortly, but we have heard reports that a gas line could potentially be involved in all of this. That's what one source told us when we arrived out here. We're going to continue to get more information and update you just as soon as we know.
Simon, let me ask you one more question before we let you go. You've been out there for just a little while now. Is that plume of flames and everything, is it getting bigger and bigger, or is it staying about the same since you've been out there?
Yeah, it just sort of seems to spike up, Carolyn, if that makes sense. You see it kind of die down a little bit, and then it roars again, so which would suggest that something is fueling all of that. There you see it right there behind me. If we zoom off in the distance, you can see it again. You think for a minute that it's slowing down, and then boom, you see it right there again, just roaring higher, higher, and higher. So certainly, they got a ton of crews out here. This is going to go on for what we would assume would be hours, and by no means is this going to be contained anytime soon. You could just see it from here, and you hear just sort of a terrible roar coming from that distance, which is why we're staying back to stay safe.
Simon, I got to ask you one more question. So you said you can see these flames from 10 miles away. Right behind you is that Meijer. Just from your best judgment, looking at those flames, do you think the flames have hit some of those buildings right behind you, or are you just too far away to even be able to tell that?
A little bit difficult to see from this vantage point. You see that Meijer right there, and that's sort of blocked off the line of sight from where we're at. But one thing that just stuck out as the deputy just came over, and we sort of tried to get as much information as he could share with us, and he's suggesting that they're evacuating more and more areas. There's a Starbucks off in that distance, which suggests that potentially there's the concern this could be spreading to nearby businesses. They want to keep everyone safe, and that's why they're proceeding with more evacuations.
All right, Simon, we do have a statement here I'm going to read here. Stick with us here. We're going to ask you some more questions here. We just got this statement here from Michael McCabe, the undersheriff for Oakland County Sheriff's Department. The statement reads as follows. There is a huge gas line fire in Orion Township on the north side of Brown Road, west of Jocelyn Road, at the border of Auburn Hills. Orion Township Fire and Consumers is on scene. All of the Sheriff's Office 911 lines and non-emergency lines are out. More information to follow shortly. So somehow this has also affected the county emergency lines. We don't know if that's because of overload or if maybe the physical lines have been burned in this fire, but we can start taking a look at a map now. We've got a fairly good location of the north side of Brown Road, west of Jocelyn. So as we get people on a map now trying to figure out exactly what's in that area, we obviously see this thing flares up bigger and bigger, then it kind of goes down a little bit. It's obviously being fed by pressurized gas.
Simon, what street are you right on, right there? You're on what street?
Yeah, so Carolyn, Stephen, we're just off Jocelyn. We're at the corner of Jocelyn and Harmon, which is just down the street from Jocelyn and Brown, where all of this is billowing from. And you see that smoke, again, sort of just erupting from that site. And as Stephen alluded to, you get the sense that this fire is being fed with gas, which is why it continues to flare up time and again. A lot of neighbors in this community sending us videos from earlier when this first got going, and you see some of that, and it is just continuing to burn and burn and burn, out of control. They're going to be very busy with this for hours trying to get this under control.
Simon, we're going to ask you to hold on. We're going to talk to you in just a few minutes, but right now there is a woman who lives right across the street from where this explosion took place, and she joins us by the phone right now.
She's on the phone, Shelley Paget. Okay, Shelley, this is the big question. We're trying to figure out what is on fire. I mean, how close are you to that source of fire, and can you tell us what's burning?
We're a safe distance away from it now, but we live less than 1/8 a mile away. We live at Jocelyn and Brown, basically. And when the explosion happened, we didn't realize at first it was an explosion. It sounded like military jets were flying over the house really low, but then the sound wasn't going away. All of a sudden things got really bright, like through the curtains, and we looked outside and it was just like daylight outside, but it was orange. And then across the street we saw the flames. I've never seen such huge flames or so much fire in my life. And I walked over there across the street and got a little video, and then we evacuated. I don't know when we're going to be able to go back home now, because it sounds like they are evacuating the area.
Shelley, tell us, how far away are you? But when you were in your home, we heard from a few people that you could actually feel the heat from those flames. Could you feel the heat? And
yes,
you could.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, when I was in a parking lot videoing, and my husband stopped to pick me up so we could leave, and he opened the car door, and he said he couldn't believe he could feel the heat. And we were not on top of it, but even just driving away from it, you could still feel the heat from it, and the flames just kept getting higher and higher. And even now, as I'm watching it, it's something is making the flames just continue to shoot up.
Yeah, this is Shelley Paget on the phone with us. Shelley, as she says, she lives very, very close, less than 1/8 of a mile from where this happened. Again, we're trying to nail down what is on fire. Do you have any idea? I know there's lots of things over there. Did you get to see what it was burning or exactly where it was? I know there's that new Menards. We've heard a rumor that perhaps the Menards may be on fire. Any idea?
I know the Menards is being built there. I didn't realize. I don't know if it's actually done, but it looks like it is in that area. It's in the exact area where they just finished widening the road and made all the space for the new businesses, including the Menards.
Shelley, I know at this point you and your husband are safe because you told me they told you to evacuate, so you got out of there. But how are you feeling? Do you have small children, or is it just you and your husband? Are you worried about your neighbors, or did you see everyone evacuate the area?
Oh, I'm very worried about my neighbors. That's the first thing that is on my mind, is that I hope no one has been hurt or will be hurt. It's me and my husband. My mother has also evacuated, and we have 3 cats that we left in the house, but no children.
But I'm sure you're worried about those pets, because we all do worry about our pets. They're just like our children. But you're a safe distance away, so you're really just watching this thing on TV then, hoping that no homes will, of course, be affected by this, correct?
Actually, we're sitting in the car in the parking lot watching the real thing.
Oh, so you're not that far away. You're watching these flames go up in the air.
Yeah. We were hoping we'd be able to go home, but now I have no idea when we'll be able to go home.
Okay, I would really appreciate you, Shelley, at a time like this. I know it's emotional. I know I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us here. There's also the Costco over there. I mean, it's just how much stuff is over there that is in danger, in your opinion, of these flames?
There's a lot. There's a lot. It's a huge shopping area just north of Great Lakes Crossing. It's far enough away from Great Lakes Crossing, so I don't see an issue with that. But there is a large shopping area. There's also several businesses and homes. It's pretty much, you name it, it's in that area.
Well, Shelley, you know, we appreciate you speaking to us, and please stay near by your phone so we can call you back and talk to you more. Especially, we don't know what's going to happen with this fire, but we know you're concerned about your home, you're worried about your cats, and of course you're worried about your mother and your husband. So we'll check back with you. Meantime, we've got to go to weather right now. Chief Meteorologist Dave Rexroth standing by on the Weather Center.
Yes,